ROG recently announced two brand new gaming laptops among their plethora of many other laptops. So this is the highest end ROG Strix SCAR 18, whereby this one is the ROG Strix G16. Technically, this one is well, very similar to the bigger brother, but this one is of course the highest end with a lot more features, whereby this one is a bit more trimmed down but still keeps a lot of the goodies that the big brother has. And in this video, we'll be focusing more on the display because in terms of the performance, well, these two laptops are packed with amazing hardware, so you can really expect really good performance out of it. So you can watch some other videos from other YouTubers if you want to know more about the performance. So let's talk about the ROG Strix SCAR 18's display first. This laptop is the world's first laptop to have an 18-inch 4K mini LED display with 16:10 aspect ratio. So it has a resolution of 3840 by 2400 pixels and also goes up to 240Hz refresh rate with native G-Sync support and also anti-glare and low reflection coating. And all of this is packed within a term that ROG is calling the Nebula HDR display. We tested out this display and found out that it can go up to 667 nits maximum in SDR mode, and it can also go up to 1052 nits maximum in HDR mode with the entire display lit up. ROG claims that if it's only turned on 3% of the entire screen, then it can actually go up to 1600 nits. 1600 nits is with 3% OPR, which means on pixel ratio. And throughout our tests, we found out that this display can go up to 99.54% of sRGB and 98.66% of DCI-P3 color gamut coverage, which is actually really good. And it also has a really low delta E number across the board. So do expect really good color accuracy and color saturation at the same time because of the high sRGB and DCI-P3 color gamut coverage. And we do have to talk more about the mini LED here because this is a very fantastic technology. So mini LEDs allow the individual backlight LEDs to turn off if needed. So this will increase the contrast ratio of your display. ROG says that the display in this laptop has over 2000 dimming zones and it works really well in games. However, if you are not in games and you try to look at more finer things on the screen, for example, text, or if you are moving your cursor around, then you will see some sort of blooming because the individual mini LED backlight LEDs cannot turn off as granular as OLED displays. So this will create some sort of blooming effect, but you can head into the Armoury Crate software and actually disable the dynamic dimming zone and just have it as one zone. Well, they call it one zone. Practically the entire display is lit up all at once and all of the mini LEDs will have the same brightness across the board. So this wouldn't give you the best contrast ratio like what a mini LED with dynamic dimming zone will bring, but then again, it won't have any blooming effect. And if you look properly in the Armoury Crate app, they actually do have another option available if you use it in one zone mode, and that is called ELMB. ELMB stands for Extreme Low Motion Blur, an exclusive feature for this display only because it has a mini LED display. So it is called the ROG Nebula ELMB and it has 40 discrete zones to allow the display to turn off when a pixel is transitioning between colors so that it gives us a much more clearer view of what's going on the screen. Because in terms of the pixel response time, it's always measured in gray to gray, so it's just the luminance level. But when you're transitioning between colors, then it will take a different time. So in this footage that I'm showing here, when you do transition from one color to the other, for example, when you just swipe your mouse real fast in a game like Spider-Man 2, then you can see the buildings in the skyline there will have some trailing effects at the back. So how do you eliminate this? Well, you just insert black frames. ELMB technically means strobing or black frame insertion or whatever the heck they want to call it because it goes by many names. But what it does is it will show you one frame of the image, then it will insert a black frame, black color frame, and then the next frame of your game. So what this does is that when you want to transition from one color to the other, it will go black first. That's essentially ELMB, and this actually does eliminate the trailing effect that we can see previously. And here is a side-by-side comparison with and without ELMB, and you can clearly see the difference. And you might say that this isn't exactly a big deal, but it actually is if you are into competitive games like CSGO or whatsoever, because when you can see your enemy moving or coming out of some area when you are swiping your mouse, then looking at your enemy clearly is actually going to give you a lot of visual aid to confirm that that is actually where you should aim and shoot. Yeah, and do keep in mind that all of these features are packed inside the ROG Strix SCAR 18 because of the world's first 4K mini LED 240Hz G-Sync mini LED display, because this laptop's monitor is so good that I played a lot of games on it, and it's just great. And just to quickly mention here, of course, with such a great display, you need great hardware to run at its maximum potential as well. This laptop is packed with the Intel Core Ultra 9 290HX Plus, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090 laptop GPU that can go up to 175 watts with 150 watts base, and also dynamically boost up to another 25 watts. Double 32 gigs of DDR5 at 6400 mega transfers per second, 1+1 terabyte of NVMe SSD in RAID 0, that means you're gonna get extremely fast speeds, and of course, the price of this laptop is going to be quite insane because it is the highest end available in Malaysia. Of course, if you're not from Malaysia, then the specs available is going to be different, so do check it with your local ASUS website or your ASUS store and whatnot. And this laptop is also easily upgradable because you do have the quick release latch at the bottom, and then you can just remove the backplate that way. Inside there, you can see that you do have 2 SODIMM slots that are currently taken up. You can upgrade it to 128 gigs of RAM if you want to, or if you just want to, you know, deal with AI stuff and whatnot. Now, let's talk about the ROG Strix G16. This is, of course, a much smaller laptop, and it's also a lot more lightweight because the cooling system isn't as beefy as this one. We'll talk about the specs later, but first let's talk about the display, because this is still using the ROG Nebula display, not HDR, so you don't get any HDR features and whatnot. It is a 16-inch display with 2560 by 1600 pixels, of course 16 by 10 in aspect ratio. It is indeed an IPS LCD panel and can go up to 300Hz refresh rate in ultimate mode for the GPU. Of course, you have to set this in the Armoury crate as well. And of course, this display will also have G-Sync support too. Throughout our test, this display can go 571 nits maximum, and it covers 99.85% of sRGB, 98.79% of DCI-P3, and also very low delta E numbers across the board. And that means this display is also very color accurate and very vivid because of the DCI-P3 and sRGB color gamut coverage with very low delta E numbers. But as you can see here, because it is not using mini LED, there is a clear difference in terms of the brightness and the contrast and the color reproduction. This part here, this purple is a lot more saturated compared to this. So yeah, you can clearly see the difference on camera. And do remember, there is an anti-reflective and anti-glare coating on the ROG Strix SCAR 18, but the ROG Strix G16 does not have it. Now, in terms of the specs, the ROG Strix G16 is no slouch either because it does come with an Intel Core Ultra 9 290HX Plus, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 laptop GPU that can go up to 115 watts, so 100 watts base and also 15 watts boost, 16 gigs of DDR5 at 6400 mega transfers per second, 2 of them actually, so you get the 32 gigs of RAM, and 1 terabyte of NVMe SSD. And of course, you can also easily upgrade this laptop as well because it does have the same quick removable backplate, and once you pop it off, you can see your SODIMM slots and also your SSD slots too. Both of these laptops will have 3 fans at the bottom, so you can see another fan right below somewhere around the trackpad area, and that is because your SSD is sitting right beside it. So having the third fan there means that you can draw air from, how do you say this? You channel air from the sides, so it goes through the SSD and then blows out through the exhaust at the back. This is of course to cool the SSD, and a lot of people did ask in the comment section below where we reviewed the previous generation of the ROG Strix series, Is the thermal pad for the SSD necessary if they want to upgrade? Well, my answer is that technically if you have a thermal pad, it's better, but if you don't have a thermal pad, it's still fine because the SSD won't hurt itself because of the too much heat, because it does throttle itself as well if it gets too hot. Just keep in mind that if you are only using your laptop to play games, you're not really stressing out your SSD that much, so you don't really need an extra thermal pad for it. So yeah, just do keep that in mind. And as for the price of these two laptops, I will leave them on the screen here. Do keep in mind that depending on where you're from, they will have different specs, so you have to check it with your local ASUS rep. And also there are multiple different variants between these two laptops, so you can pick and choose what specs you want as well, at least for Malaysians. If you have any other questions regarding these two laptops, then do leave them down in the comment section below. We will see you guys in the next video. Now I will return to game on this laptop because wow, the performance that comes out of it is just unbelievably good.